What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another Tutorial Tuesday. Tutorial Tuesday. Today, we are drawing Majin Buu. I'm so excited. I love Majin Buu. He's one of my favorite villains. His trajectory and evolution throughout the end of Dragon Ball Z is just one of the best, and I think he's just such a great and well-rounded character. So without too much talking, let's just jump right in, shall we? This Majin Buu drawing is framed in a box, so our first step is to sketch out that box. Once we have our box, we're going to drop in a nice circle for his head. Remember, in this stage, all of our pencil strokes should be nice and light. Off to the left, we'll add a small circle for his hand, a third circle on the edge of the right side for his other hand. Now, we can start defining the shape of Majin Buu's head. Get his chubby cheeks and that distinctive ear. At the top of the head, right in the center, we're going to break the frame and add his antenna. It doesn't have to be perfect, just get the general shape in there. It's just like a noodle attached to the top of his forehead. Now, Buu's pose is a little hunched over, so from the sides of his head, we're going to draw a stretched out C shape, and then mirror it on the other side. This will be his shoulders. Just below the head, we can add a small upside down trapezoid shape. And then we're going to jump to the hand, and he has one finger up, so we're going to essentially making a balloon letter L. His hand is going to be shaped like this, with a ball on the other side. Underneath that is the forearm part of the glove, which is just kind of a softed square. From that shape, make a stretched out J that goes right to the edge of the frame. From that trapezoid shape underneath the head, make a stretched out U that connects to the arm. This is his cape. From out of the side of that shape, let's make a pointed rectangle. This is going to be the piece that is like tied. And then we can indicate his vest on the side of that. Now let's add some detail to the knot into the top of the glove. We can now start solidifying some of the lines. On his shoulders, we can give the cape some volume. On the head, we can commit to the shape, darken the lines, and add some of his vent holes, the ear hole. If we go to the middle of his head and then about halfway down a little less, we can dash in his eyes. These are just two little curves, and then add some details and cheek marks. His mouth is like a bean, and his tongue is a really long U shape with a rounded M on the top. By his thumb, we can add that dimple that goes into his cheek. And on the other side, we are mirroring the hand, and it's just a reverse L. So his hands are doing this, I think if I'm not mistaken, he's going loser, something like that. So that's the shape that we're making. And then we can give more volume to the cape on the other side. Add the collar to the cape. Under his hand, we will add his arm, which is just like a stretched out S. And to close it out, make the opening for the vest. Now that we have our Buu, we can solidify the shape of the box and drop in any missed details. And shade in his mouth and vest. Now we're getting into inking. Just as a warning, I am using a fountain pen and dip ink. Links below if you are interested in trying this out. It is a very hard skill to master, but let me tell you, if you decide to ink this way, you won't regret it. The best inking, in my opinion, comes from a pen where you can control the flow of the ink. So, working my way left to right, so not to smudge the drawing, we start with a thin outline and add some pressure where we want some edges thickened for emphasis. I won't walk you through every line on the inking, but I will tell you my thought process behind my approach to inking. Inking for me is the final step. We are sealing our drawing, and I'm in the school of thought where every inked line should be put down methodically. We can always go back and put emphasis on a line, but if we treat inks like it's a pencil and sketch it, the inks will look really jagged and messy, unless this is the style that you're going for. I always like to have nice, clean, inked lines. As you can see with the dip pen, I'm able to control the flow of the ink and give emphasis to some areas by letting more ink flow. This just creates some natural depth and shadow within the drawing. Now that we have all of the line work done, I'm going to take a fine tip paintbrush and fill in the larger areas of ink. This is the same concept as the dip pen, but it just allows you to get larger areas. And just as a reminder, you don't have to use a dip pen and brush. A fine liner and a Sharpie goes a very long way. I only recently started using the dip pen and brush because I wanted a new challenge with my work. I wanted to find a new technique and just kind of bring a different craftsmanship to my work. And I will say, using a brush to fill inks is just as hard as using the dip pen. I have ruined plenty of drawings with the brush and dip pen. They take a lot of hours to master and to get the hang of, and if you're not careful, you can smudge and just ruin and knock over ink. It's a mess and it's frustrating, but I think it's worth it. Our inks have dried, so now we can go back with a fine tip pen and a ruler to outline the box that Boo is in. This way we can make it as thick or thin as possible. Honestly, a Sharpie probably would have been best here. Okay, now that our inks are done, please wait at least 20 minutes before you start erasing. Just make sure it's all dried. Again, learn from my mistakes, please. You do not want your ink smudging at this last step. It's the worst. Please trust me on this. I'm using a kneaded eraser. I find that it's just the best and it doesn't pull up any ink after you've erased it. And there we have it. There is Majin Buu. I hope you enjoyed this Tutorial Tuesday. It's a much different approach to tutorials than last week's. Let me know what you thought about this video by giving it a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing and hit that bell notification so you know when the next Tutorial Tuesday is uploaded. If for some reason you did not enjoy this video, please let me know in the comments why. I really want to help and teach everyone out there how to draw, especially your favorite characters. So if there's a technique that you would like further expanded on, please let me know. I'd be happy to make a video on it. If there's a specific character you'd like to see me draw, please drop it down in the comments. I'll be happy to help teach you how to draw your favorite character. Thank you for joining me for another Tutorial Tuesday. Keep drawing, keep practicing, and I'll see you next week for another Tutorial Tuesday. Bye, guys.